Hello, friends. My name is Kathleen Whitehead. I channel a group called the Aspects of Love. They are a group of beings who send their loving energies to chat with us, and it's a variety of people, of beings. They have urged me to speak from my voice, and so I'll be doing that tonight. Tonight, I plan to share some of the things that have happened to me and some personal revelations. I hope it resonates and is helpful to everyone. First of all, I'm going to start out with a little bit of a prayer, and then I'll yammer for a bit. Dearest divine universe, I thank you for being with us, for being part of us, for being us here tonight. We are here to share our experiences and our joys and triumphs and maybe a little bit of questioning. Thank you for being with us, whoever chooses to be with us now or later. We appreciate and know that you're here for a purpose. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am sending personally love to everyone, whoever finds this video. Amen. Well, I've had a busy week, lots of changes, lots of surprises for me. But last week we talked about the ascension symptoms, and I've experienced many of those. Everybody who's listening, I'm certain, has had many ascension symptoms, including being very tired and headaches, random body aches, time slips, memory issues, just all kinds of things, just about anything. But what I was told this week and what I experienced is the ascension symptoms include empathy, telepathy, uh, many other things that have happened because it's all part of our ascension. Uh, Telepathy for me has been growing in that I think of someone and they call, or I call someone and they tell me that they were just thinking of calling me. Now, we have always thought of that as being psychic, but is not psychic gifts part of us of the ascension? And that is getting more and more powerful, more and more strong. The thing is, we need to notice these things. With empathy, a while back, I realized that I was protecting myself because my empathy would cause me to feel everybody else's feelings, what they are. And then I realized when I protect myself, because I also know that I am safe, and that's an important threshold to pass. If you don't know yet that you're always safe, then rely on whatever protections you might feel you need, because you do create your reality by your belief systems and where you are. I realize that if I am part of the oneness, which I know that I am, and I protect myself, I'm separating myself from the others who are in oneness. But what do I do so that I don't have to feel the brunt of every emotion that everyone else is feeling? I send them love. I acknowledge the feeling. I acknowledge that it is not mine, that I'm experiencing something that another part of the oneness is experiencing, but that's not part of my journey. So I acknowledge it. I send love to it. And if there is something that I need to do to help this person other than sending love, then I'll do that. But mostly it's just acknowledge, realize it's not mine, and allow the feeling, but not the effects, let us say. So I do not routinely surround myself with protection. I routinely give love to myself and to others. I routinely connect as much as I can. And I'm still working on that as far as connecting, because I'm really a homebody. I I tend to stay at home and watch my birds and talk to people online, but that needs to change. I need to be more out in the community. That is another thing that is happening in this ascension. Many of us are being urged to connect more, to form communities, to look for like-minded souls, for look for our tribe and join together, and expand our tribe. So those are some of the things that I feel are part of the oneness and part of the ascension symptoms. Another part of the ascension symptoms that are coming about is honesty, that we can't be fooled by lies any longer. But what I have realized is I can't fool myself with those lies that I've been telling myself. I'm fiercely, stubbornly independent. And I have been telling myself, I don't need to do that. I can I can heal myself. I don't need to go look for other ways to heal myself. But as we learned in the last week, we're not meant to ignore all other tools other than ourselves. If we need to um, see a doctor or see an acupuncturist or whatever, then we need to take advantage of that and not feel like we're um, kind of betraying our own fierce independence by asking for help. So I have really taken a look at my own stubbornness. I have experienced gout twice in the last few weeks, and I've conquered it. I'm feeling better. I don't have much, but I started in researching that. And one of the things that I felt ran across was that gout is considered a sentinel experience, meaning that it's a watchman, it's a guard. And so it may be an early indicator of something else, some things that are very scary to me. And I've lied to myself all this time about, no, I don't have to experience that. Well, maybe I don't. I do believe I don't have to experience that, but I also don't have to have the full responsibility of healing myself from that when there are other tools available to me. Just the small things like tests. And it's always my choice. If something that a medical professional or someone prescribes, I can always say no. The reason that I am so fiercely independent when it comes to medical issues is because I have had during my childhood and childbearing years some pretty unfortunate experiences with the medical profession. But that so what am I doing? I'm judging the entire medical profession based on that. And another thing that I've learned lately is I need to go to the dentist. I've been to the dentist and I've found 2 beautiful dentists who have the attitude of the reason that they're dentists is because they like being a dentist. They like people. They like to help people with their oral health. And so I feel so fortunate. And they've been a contrast to some of the dentists that I've avoided who first thing they say is, "This is how much this is gonna cost," and I'm sorry, it's not paid by insurance, you gotta do it. Where my current dentist had said, "Well, we can space it out for you." You know, they're just not they have the attitude of helpfulness rather than making money. And it's fine for them to make money, but I'd rather be the priority rather than my pocketbook being the priority. So this is a bit of honesty to myself. Another thing that has changed for me radically overnight, and I know that it is all part of this whole same ascension that I'm going through. My eating habits completely changed. What I want to eat has changed completely. I I just am not hungry for anything processed. I have bought more organic foods. It's just I'm 77 years old and this has never happened to me. I've always wanted what was maybe not the best thing for me. That's what I've always wanted. And felt guilty for that for many, 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 many years. Then I decided, no, no, no more guilt. And I just ate whatever I wanted. I never did I didn't go completely off the rails. But just recently, within the last few weeks, completely different needs. I have thrown away so many different kinds of food, and I'm trying to figure out how to make healthier recipes for myself. And I'm not a cook, so that's uh, an adventure. I will call it an adventure. But just to let you know how I feel about this, I feel that many of the things that we are experiencing that are changes are either very large symptoms of ascension or very tiny or someplace in between. But we should notice everything that changes for us. And the other thing that we need to notice how much love is being generated out there because there's a lot of love and it's growing. And my favorite saying is love always wins. And I can see that. And we just need to watch the dramas unfolding and not play in the field of the dramas and notice that love that is increasing. But I thank you for listening to me. This is um, in a way, it's very honest, and I'm being honest with myself and bringing you all into it. And I am going to, after my oral surgery, I am going to contact my doctor and have an honest talk with her too, because pretty much when I go to the doctor, is everything okay? Yes, everything's perfect. So that's probably not the most honest thing I've ever said. So I'm here to have my confession. So thank you for listening to me. I will now take a few minutes and gather my aspects of love around me. I'll then give you, of course, they've been here the whole time, but give them the speaker's seat at this point, and I will do some light language and then open it up for questions for the people, the dear people who are here with me in person tonight. So I'll say a little bit more of a prayer. Dearest aspects of love, thank you for waiting patiently while I shared my soul a little bit with those who will watch this. I ask you now to come forward and to introduce yourselves via the light language that will come through me. I thank you for being here. Si sianatakaze tiata ata ata ayanana ishikate tete elia tasata yata namada teke se ha si tianana hasekate boya tete ayate haleanana. Hello, dear friends. We are here with you and happy to be among such a group. We have deep love for each and all, both those people who are here in body at this moment in time, and those who will join at another moment in time, which is actually simultaneous. So we extend our gratitude and our love to you all. We thank our channel for expressing her true honesty. We would say to all that authenticity and honesty is your goal, along with giving love to yourself and to others. And you are doing well. You are doing well, and we appreciate it and commend you. We will now open for any questions that may be out there. Do we have a question? No questions?
I think I'm good tonight. I very much appreciated Kathleen expressing her experiences and her ascension symptoms. I've had, very similar things going on, so that's quite helpful, and I do appreciate it.
Okay. No other questions?
I'm curious about yeah, the physical aspects of this. Will there be more additional symptoms, situations that occur, additional sort of what we call psychic experiences? What can you say about that?
Your what you call gifts will expand. your telepathy, your psychic abilities, your empathy, your many things that are individual to you, just like Kathleen mentioned that her particular changes are very personal. And she went in deeply when she noticed that were things that just felt like they were not, that she wasn't being honest with herself. We might suggest that if you feel there might be things that you're not being honest with yourself about, that you might look at that. We are not suggesting that that is the case, but that is a direction that you might look at. Unfortunately, for Kathleen, there had to be a physical symptom that triggered her um, to look deeply about what she felt. Normally, your triggers are directed from other beings that may trigger an emotion in you, and they then you that gives you a nice arrow. But the deepest are the triggers that you must give yourself. And sometimes the only way to initiate that trigger is something that is uncomfortable for you personally. So to avoid uh, something uncomfortable for you personally, you might want to go ahead and look at those things. But as far as your gifts, those are going to be enhanced and grow, and there will be new things that you don't even realize. 5 years ago, no one was talking about telepathy. 5 years from now, there will be gifts that nobody has thought about yet. So it's an exciting time. Now, the chaos that is part of the ascension of the collective is going to continue for a little while. It gets, from our perspective, sillier and sillier. The chaos of the earth disruptions will also increase. The sun will continue. It is going through its own ascension. All of these changes are going to continue until they reach the crescendo, or maybe several, and then things will change radically that have not yet changed. You are all in it. So you are experiencing things in a more gradual way. And the purpose for this is that when those who are not participating and noticing and all these things, but who will be changing to the new earth, they may feel like they have slammed against a brick wall at a certain point, and they will look at you and they'll see the ease that you are experiencing and the joy that you're experiencing, and they will come to you. They will, they will, they'll notice,
Mm.
and you will be available to them. But you might have your times where you hit a wall. We can say that the experience that our friend Kathleen has in the last couple of weeks with the physical presence in her feet and other symptoms kind of hit a wall for her, but she didn't have to go too deeply before she noticed that something needed to change. So, yes, everything is going to continue. Many things that are very good will increase. Some things will, what we call, get sillier and sillier in many different places. There will be earthly disruptions. And remember, if there are those who are put into a very uncomfortable position or will even give up their embodiment, they have chosen this life and they have chosen, their soul has chosen this experience as the souls of those who are, we'll say, the silliest of the silly. They have chosen to be that example, that teacher that shows you how you want to be, that shows you that you would choose something different. So that was kind of a lengthy answer, but did that help you?
Yeah, yes, it's very interesting, and I appreciate your comments. I have another question. This is relating to um, uh, well, what we consider extraterrestrial beings, and that there have been comments that
Hmm.
there will be more encounters with them and that kind of thing. I'm just curious as to whether, if you know, will they be actually in, spaceships as we call them, or will they have bodies, or are is it a spiritual thing as what Kathleen experiences?
Both and all. There are already ships that some are seeing. There are already beings that some are seeing who are embodied. Um, there are so many more people who are doing what Kathleen is doing, and there will be more because this capacity is open to anyone who chooses it. It, at this point, there are people, more and more people who are training to learn how to do this. And of course, our friend Kathleen has spent some time developing this. There will be some who will spontaneously start speaking. There are so many different manifestations that have become commonplace, and yet we long for that time when we can physically see uh, a being from another place and shake the hand if they indeed have a hand. Um, the, there's there will be culture shock in a way. So it can't be that uh, that they come all in a group, or just suddenly one day they're here and the next day they are not here, and the next day then they are here, because we won't know how to deal with them. At this point, you have access to speaking with beings. Some are ETs that have lent their loving aspect. Some are beings that do not have form, that have lent their loving aspect. You are speaking with the aspects of love. Perhaps you might want to speak sometime to a particular being who can answer questions about their culture. So, yes, and yes, and yes, all of it is going to happen
That's
in
very
stages.
interesting.
In stages.
Yeah, that's interesting. And of course, we always put our, our ideas of extraterrestrials or as having somewhat of a human type form, and maybe they aren't.
There are so many varieties of beingness. And remember, it's all one. But remember also that creating reality is a function of the imagination and the beliefs.
Mhm.
The source that has created the beginnings of all of these things only believes in love, and imagination. And therefore started the ball rolling, and there we are still part of that original source, and we will return to that original source. But now many are creating things all at all times. There's newness coming in. There's newness always. It is an interesting prospect to think about all the different ways that life can be. Does that help you?
Yes, yes, it reminds me of the an old Star Trek episode where the alien being referred to the humans as ugly bags of mostly water. That's pretty funny, and who knows how they will appear to us. So thank you very
True,
much.
true. Are there any other questions?
I'm good.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you. Okay, we will share with you some of our thoughts via our language, and you will receive in your heart, in your energy system, whatever it is you need. We are starting out with love for you and gratitude. Thank you.